What's up, Willowbrook? Today we're in Genesis 6, verses 9 through 22. And let me just set the stage for our passage today. We read earlier in chapter 6 that the number of people on earth have increased, but also the amount of sin and evil and violence has increased. And because of that, God looks at the earth, heartbroken, he decides he's going to destroy every living thing on the earth. And that brings us to verse 9. It says this is the account of Noah and his family. Noah was a righteous man, blameless among the people of his time, and he walked faithfully with God. So Noah was a righteous man. In the midst of chaos, Noah was righteous. Well, why would the Bible call Noah righteous? God's planning on destroying everything on earth, but he sees Noah as righteous. In Habakkuk 2, verse 4, it says, "The righteous," or the just, "will live by faith." And this is what we see Noah doing in his life. He lives by faith. He knows the ways of God, and he's living that out every single day. And as God begins to tell Noah his plan, that he's going to flood the earth and to build this ark, Noah is obedient to what God says. It even says that in verse 22, it says, Noah did everything just as God commanded him. And even in the author of Hebrews later on in Scripture says that Noah may not have understood really what was to come, but was still obedient, was still faithful to God. Now, I think that when we say the righteous will live by faith, a lot of times we think that that word faith means just belief, right? It's almost like a thought in our minds. Yeah, I believe in God. But I think what the Scripture shows us is that it goes beyond just what we believe. And it leans more into action as well. But I want you to understand, I'm not saying that we're saved by our works. Scripture is very clear. We're saved by grace through faith. But what I think Scripture is showing us is our faithfulness to God is a result or an expression of our faith in God. And we see that in the life of Noah. He walks with God faithfully. And even when he might not understand the plan fully and it's illogical or it's not practical, he's still obedient and does everything that God says to do. An illustration you're probably aware of, you've probably heard, is a chair, for example. The chair I'm sitting in right now. I could see it from across the room and say, yeah, I have faith that that chair is going to hold me if I sit in it. But it's not until I actually sit in the chair that I show that I have faith that the chair will hold my body weight. It's the same with God. We can say all day long, yeah, I have faith, I trust, I believe, but it's not until we act that out, we demonstrate that faith in our faithfulness to God, that we show that we truly have faith in who God is and what he says he's going to do. So this year, my hope for you, my hope for myself is that when God draws us closer, when God gives us maybe instructions to do something that seems impractical or illogical, that we would act out our faith by being faithful to him and what he says. I pray that God blesses you today.